Today I will make an anabolic calzone, so let's get straight into the video. First off, I will start making the dough for one calzone. I will add 120 grams of type 00 flour into a bowl. If you can't find 00 flour, use all-purpose flour, but then in my experience you will also have to use a little bit more water. Then I will add in 2.5 grams of salt, which is around 2%. Now I will put 60 grams of tap warm water into a container, and then I will add in 2.5 grams of yeast into that, give it a quick stir and add it into the bowl. I will first start to combine everything with a spoon, and then I will use my hand to try to make a small dough ball. Depending on your flour, you have to add a touch more water to this. I always add a tiny bit of water until I have a small soft bowl that is not super sticky. I really recommend to always start with less water and work your way up bit by bit, because adding water means adding 0 calories. On the other hand, adding more flour to a sticky dough means also adding a lot more calories, so be careful. Now, either you have a kitchen machine that can knead the dough for you, or you take the dough out and use your palm to press down and also roll the dough. If you use your hands, you have to knead the dough for at least 5 minutes, better kneading it more than less. With a little bit of practice, this is very simple to make with your hands. You just have to press and roll. Press and roll. It's very simple. Then spray some oil in the container, spread it with your hands and put the dough ball into it. Put some cling film on top and now let this rest at room temperature for at least 2 hours. However, my recommendation would be to let this rest for at least an entire day. It will become so much better if you make the dough 24 hours in advance. Now, before start to baking the pizza, because I don't have a pizza stone, I will put a cast iron pan into an oven that I will switch on at maximum heat, which in my case is 260 degrees Celsius. If you don't have a cast iron pan or a pizza stone, just put a normal baking sheet into the oven. It won't get that good of a crust. Preheat this for at least 30 minutes. Meanwhile, I will prepare a sauce. For that, I will add 100 grams of canned tomatoes into a small bowl. Add some salt, a couple of cranks of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and also some oregano. You can also add some basil or other spices that you like. Give this a quick stir and leave it aside. Now it's time to make the calzone. I will put a little bit of flour on a table, and this is the rested dough that is nicely expanded after a few hours. What I will do now is to press the dough with my fingers slowly at the edges until it becomes a perfectly round pizza that has the absolute perfect shape. Or something like that. Before I will start to add the filling, I will make sure to let a little bit of space at the edges of the dough so it will be easier to close later on. The first thing that I will add is 100 grams of a low-fat cottage cheese. You can also use cream cheese or a low-fat ricotta if you can find it. I will spread it as a base on the half of the dough. Next is 60 grams of an Italian ham. I prefer using this instead of pepperoni, but you can also use whatever meat that you like. This is a very lean ham that tastes absolutely incredible. I will add this on top of the cottage cheese. Then on top of the ham, I will slice up 50 grams of fat-reduced fresh mozzarella. This particular one has 150 calories and 100 grams of cheese, and that is enough for my filling. Now obviously you can do whatever filling that you want. I just wanted to show you a more traditional calzone filling. Then I will close the calzone. Take the bottom half of the dough and try to cover the other side with it. Then take the dough underneath, flip it backwards and press it down. I will repeat this for the entire dough. I will also remove the parts of the dough that are too thick, like on this edge. Now just flip and press the entire calzone. Also, to release the steam that is inside, I will break the top of the dough and add a small hole into it. Then I will take my sauce and cover the top of the entire calzone. 3 to 4 tablespoons should be enough. This now gets into the oven, and because I don't have one of these big pizza spatulas, I just take 2 regular ones and go underneath the dough from both sides so I can easily transfer this on top of my preheated cast iron pan. I will bake this for around 10 minutes. And this is the finished homemade anabolic calzone, and I think this deserves a fast click on the like button if you in fact enjoyed the video. Thank you. Now the entire recipe comes in with 667 calories, 101 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat and 46 grams of protein. So in my opinion, this is relatively macro-friendly for a calzone. So I really hope you will try this recipe out. Tag me also on Instagram so I will make sure to repost it, and I will see you in the next video.